Anybody who's worked at a theme or amusement park can tell you that there's a lot of guests that once they walk through those gates, it seems like they get completely clueless. Here's 7 not so common sense rules at theme parks that you think everybody would know, but don't. One of the things that always amazed me working at Disney and Busch Gardens and Silver Dollar City was how many guests would get to the park and just get totally clueless about things that they should know better or you think would be obvious. Common sense rules and things to keep people safe that they would just totally check out of their brain and not think about. Got to deal with it all the time. Here's 7 rules that you think would be common sense at a theme park, but all too often aren't. Number 1, moats, fountains, little ponds and rivers are not for swimming in, either for adults or children. I know there's some people that come from out of the country and they come from places where if there's a fountain, you can go jump in it and play stuff. But at theme parks and amusement parks, if there's a fountain there, it's not there for you to jump in. At Disney, I can't tell you how many times I would walk up to one of the fountains, say at Morocco, or at the American Experience Pavilion, at Epcot, places like that, and here's these kids splashing and swimming in it. Ew! No! No! Yes, they're treated and chlorinated, but that's not what it's there for. It's there to look pretty. Now, occasionally people would splash a little bit on themselves to cool off. Okay, understand that. Florida gets stinking hot a lot of times. But don't swim in it. What was even worse was the couple times that I came up to these fountains and there were adults sitting in them. Folks, there's a bench right next to it. You can sit on the edge of that fountain. Especially the one time I saw somebody actually climb into the fountain in France. Now, the fountain in France has all sorts of pipes in the bottom to be able to shoot the water sprays. And there's this guy crawling in the fountain. Get out! That's not why it's there. If you need a drink, go get a drink of water, but don't splash in the fountains. Number 2, stay out of the gardens. Gardens and flowers are not there for you to go tromping through. They're there for scenery and landscaping. Keep you and your kids out. We were at Dollywood this summer, and as we're walking around by Blazing Fury, they've got a nice little fenced-off garden area there with some pretty flowers, and here's this lady standing in the middle of them on her cell phone. Hello? That's not a cell phone place. And there were benches that weren't very far away. Why are you in the middle of the flowers? We would see this fairly often at the Rose Garden at Disney World, at Magic Kingdom. People would want to see the roses, and so they would go crawling into the middle of the garden. Why? Stand back where you're supposed to. That's what sidewalks are for. And stay out of the flower beds. This would apply to the fences as well. Which actually leads me to number 3. Don't hop fences. If there's a fence there, it is there for a reason. It's to keep you out. Now, if it's a decorative little fence that's around a lawn, it's pretty, but don't hop it. Magic Kingdom, when I worked there, used to have a number of lawns around the castle hub. And you might see rabbits, and you might see ducklings, and you may just see a bunch of grass. That didn't mean it was there for you to hop the fence and go running in. That's not why it was there. It was there to look pretty, and the fence was there to kind of tell you, don't go there. Now, the fences had a little gate so the gardeners could get out there and take care of it, but you would see guests hop these things and go running. Maybe they didn't want to walk all the way around on a sidewalk, and so to save 20 feet of walking, they'd hop fences. Stay on the sidewalk. What was really bad was when they were safety fences, because they're there to keep you safe and away from something dangerous. And we've all read the times where people lost a hat or a cell phone or something else on a ride, and they can see it and they're like, oh, hey, maybe I'll just hop over the fence and go get it. Don't. There have been at least 2 times that I'm aware of that people hopped a fence to go get a hat that they dropped, and the roller coaster that they lost it on came by right as they were under it, and they got hit and killed by the roller coaster. Don't do it. If there's a fence there, stay on your side. I just completely fail to understand why people think it is okay to hop a fence in a theme park. if it was okay to go where that fence is keeping you from, they wouldn't have the fence there. Number 4, use the safety restraints correctly. This amazes me how many times I see people be stupid with safety restraints. Now, I'll admit, in my early days of being a coaster enthusiast, back when I was around 25, I did some dumb things, where if we had a lap bar, I would keep the lap bar up high. That was on roller coasters that also had seat belts to hold me in, and it was dumb. It was just plain stupid. But I see people doing far worse. I see people not even wanting to latch the seat belts, or more so, wanting to do things like try to escape the restraints completely. It's there to keep you in the ride for a reason, because getting out of the ride is dangerous. Most of the time when you see somebody get seriously injured or killed on a ride, it's because they didn't put the safety restraints on the right way, or tried to ignore them or bypass them. Taking off seat belts, leaving the lap bars way up, trying to wiggle their way under shoulder restraints. It's not safe. Those things are there to let you have fun, to keep you as safe as possible. And you're liable to find out that if you try to do something dumb, like get out of a safety restraint, assuming that you don't get injured, you're liable to get a short trip out of the park doing it. Similar to that and related is number 6. Don't stand up on rides that you're not supposed to stand up on. If it has a seat, stay in the seat. This happens more often than we'd like to admit, and particularly on rides that people think it's not a big deal to get up on. A good example is rapids rides, where you've got the big round raft and people are all sitting in there, and they'll undo their belts that are holding them in and then jump to other sides of the boat. It's a good way to get tossed out of the boat. And if you don't know, what's underneath those rapids and the rapids rides is a whole bunch of logs and other obstacles to help create the rapids. And it's very easy for you to get stuck under one and seriously hurt or killed. I can remember we were walking through Wonderland in Amarillo, Texas, and the rapid ride was going past us, and I saw this kid stand up and I yelled, even though I was just visiting the park as a guest. "Sit down!" Scared the snot out of the kids. But I didn't want to be at the park and have to worry about an accident. When I was working Rhino Rally, that was the number one thing I saw, was people wanting to get up and trade seats while we were driving. Even on carousels. Sometimes on slow-moving carousels, the adults will stand next to the children and hold them. And if they approve you to do that, that's fine. But don't run around on it. I've seen a couple times where people thought that it would be fun to change seats on the merry-go-round while it was going. And because it's spinning, they forgot about this little thing called centrifugal force and got tossed off of it and onto the fence. And that was on a slow-moving carousel. There's a reason they tell you that if you're going to stand and hold your child, to stand and not move. Don't be messing around and changing seats and standing up. Sit the way you're supposed to sit. The last one, and again, this should be obvious. Number 7. Listen to the employees when they tell you something. If the employee's giving you directions, pay attention and do it. And yes, it applies to you. I don't care who you are. You. Listen to the employees. This could be everything from standing up during a show and making a lot of noise, as we've seen a couple of different examples, the Hall of Presidents or the Carousel of Progress recently. Sit down, be quiet, let other people enjoy it. If the employee is giving you direction to go one direction, don't go the opposite. Don't go someplace they told you not to go. Follow the directions. If they tell you to walk around, walk around. Don't be like that lady I saw years ago at Buzz Lightyear when the cast member told her to walk around the chains and she'd sidestep on it and fell over and broke her arm. Employees and cast members know what is safe and what is not. If they're telling you something, they're telling you for a good reason. They may not have time to explain it. Maybe they're dealing with hundreds of people at a time and they're trying to get everybody to pay attention and do something. They may be trying to save you in a hurry from something. I had one time I was working Main Street as a photographer. Now, if you've never been to Main Street at Magic Kingdom, they have these horse-drawn carriages. It's a big trolley car and they have a big draft horse that pulls it. What you may not realize is that Main Street is not flat. It's actually on a slope and it has a little curve to it as it goes to the castle. Because those draft horses are pulling those things uphill and then downhill, they don't stop very well. And those trolleys are a couple tons. If you get hit by one, it's going to hurt. And I would see people that would be standing in the middle of Main Street, taking their family pictures and utterly ignoring them. And you'd be telling them, hey, you need to move. No. You need to move because that trolley's going to hit you. It's okay, I got my picture. Really? You need to move now or you're going to get run over because it's not stopping. It's okay. And I had twice. I actually had to physically grab guests and throw them out of the way of the trolley so they didn't get hurt. And then, of course, they come up yelling, what'd you do that for? I can still remember one guy that I had thrown him out of the way. I didn't throw him, but I moved him physically very quickly. And he turns around and he starts to yell at me. And the lady driving the trolley actually leans off of the trolley and starts yelling at him, you better be happy because he just saved your life. That kind of shut him up in a hurry. But if the cast members are giving you directions, listen to them, follow them, obey them. You're going to have a lot more fun that way. Now, I know that there are a lot more common sense rules that get forgotten at theme parks. I'm sure you can think of a bunch of them, but that's 7 of the ones that come to my mind right away. So that's 7 not so common sense rules that I've seen broken at the parks. I love to hear your stories of people doing some silly or just plain dumb things. Be sure to share them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do, and hit that bell so you can get all the notifications of the new videos as well. Be sure to share the video as well. I'd appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Thank you, too, to my patrons for your support. It's been a great year. As you're watching this, if you're watching it when it's released, I'm actually down at Disney World thanks to my patrons and other viewers and supporters. It's going to be a great trip, so be sure to watch for those videos. Be sure, too, to check the description below for links to the Facebook page, the Discord, the Reddit, and to my store. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Ginger, go sit down. Go sit down. Goober. Here's 7. Here's 7 rules that you think would be common sense at a theme park. Ginger, lay down. Ah! Dog just keeps walking in circles. I'd love to hear it. Be sure to share it in the comments below. Let's see. Wait for the phone to stop ringing. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right there. If you'd like to see another great video of mine, there's a good one right there for you. And if you'd like to be like these wonderful people and support me on Patreon, hit that link right there. Thanks so much.